Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Grim Tutors, your one-stop shop for all things Magic the Gathering. I'm Colton, also known as Pez.
And I'm Oblivion. So, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're talking about my favorite Magic the Gathering format, Modern.
How modern is it?
I think it's Modern Family. Is Modern Family the one with Steve Urkel?
No, those Family Matters.
Family Matters. Which one's Modern Family? Is that the one with Melissa McCarthy?
No, that's Mike and Molly.
Oh. Anyways, we're going to be talking about the one, the only Modern. Introduced as a different way to play back in the day because no one wanted to pay for dual lands. No one wanted to play against Force of Will. They were like, I'm going to make my own legacy with blackjack and hookers. So I made Modern.
Really?
Yeah, basically. They were like, well, we want a format that isn't necessarily standard, right? Because, like, standard only covers a few sets. We want something a little smaller than Legacy, because Legacy is, like, everything. And then, like, Vintage is just the Wild West. You can do whatever you want. How about a more limited card pool, but not too limited? So, Modern is, it starts from Mirrodin, which came out in 2003, and will encompass every single set that comes out in Magic the Gathering that says it goes into Modern. Like, we just recently had the Lord of the Rings set, right? That was a set that exclusively went into Modern. So those cards don't come into Standard or into Pioneer, but they go into Modern and Commander and Legacy and Vintage and what have you, sort of thing.
But they don't get cards from
Commander product.
Was Doctor Who considered a Commander product? Since
Yes.
you could buy boxes. But that's confusing though.
It is confusing. The way they have it now is very confusing. And it all started with confusingness when they printed Modern Horizons. Because they used to come out with sets called Modern Masters, which was, like, pretty plain and simple, right? It was cards that were heavily sought after in the format Modern, and they were printed in Modern Masters. That's how they got their reprints and whatnot, if they weren't reprinted into a standard set. But now we have print into Modern sets.
So even though Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who were both Universes Beyond sets, they both had Commander cards, Commander pre-constructed decks. Lord of the Rings was specifically printed into Modern.
Right, because Lord of the Rings was a standalone set.
What is the easiest way to tell that something has been printed into Modern? How do you know?
Well, I just know because I've been playing for a long time, but for someone out there on the internet to know and find out, it is best to just look it up. But Wizards also specifies the sets. So, like, with Lord of the Rings, they were like, hey, this set is going into Modern, whereas with Doctor Who, they were like, hey, fun commanders, yay, Doctor Who.
So the easiest way to tell is that Wizards will tell you. In my Googling of trying to figure out how people knew that wouldn't know, this is way back when they announced that Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth was going to happen. So this is August 24th, 2021. So 2 years before it comes out. What it says is, we knew the immense size, iconic nature of the stories and devotion fans have to Lord of the Rings meant that we couldn't do the set justice without creating a full product lineup to give as many players the opportunity to play with these classic characters as possible. Like all Universes Beyond product, the set will not be legal in Standard, but Modern and Historic, which is kind of like Modern on Arena. We'll get to that. Legality provides the greatest opportunity for the most people to experience this beloved world while still holding Standard as its own space. While the set isn't focused on Modern like a Modern Horizons set might be, we wanted to give as many players the opportunity to play with these cards and enjoy them. I think at this point, as in looking at it, as someone who doesn't know, I think it depends on the size of the card offering and whether or not it has some sort of limited environment. So like when Lord of the Rings came out, you could go to a pre-release and it was on Arena and it was on Magic the Gathering Online to
And it was a
play
draftable set.
Lord of the Rings, even though it was a Universes Beyond set, even though Universes Beyond stuff does not go into Standard, it had all of the same product offerings as any other Standard set. You could the same number of product offerings for Lord of the Rings is the same number of product offerings for Lost Caverns of Ixalan. So that's how you know. Because this format has been around for 21 years at this point, almost 21 years. It'll be 21 years in October. Mirrodin will be drinking age legal, friends, as you can probably assume. It has a very vast pool of cards.
And a hefty ban list.
A very, very hefty ban list. Not legal in Modern. Ancient Den.
Arkham's Astrolabe.
Birthing Pod.
Blazing Shoal.
Bridge from Below.
Chrome Mox.
Cloud Post.
Dark Depths.
Deathrite Shaman.
Dig Through Time.
Dread Return.
Eye of Ugin.
Faithless Looting.
Fields of the Dead.
Fury.
Gitaxian Probe.
Glimpse of Nature.
Golgari Grave Troll.
Great Furnace.
Green Sun Zenith.
Hogak, Arisen Necropolis.
Hypergenesis.
Krark Clan Ironworks. Sure.
Lurus of the Dream Dens.
Mental Misstep.
Mox Opal.
Mycosynth Lattice.
Mystic Sanctuary.
Oko, Thief of Crowns.
Once Upon a Time.
Ponder. He do be pondering that orb for real, though.
Punishing Fire.
Rite of Flame.
Seat of the Synod.
Second Sunrise.
Seething Song.
Sensei's Divining Top.
Simeon Spirit Guide. No monkey.
Skull Clamp.
Splinter Twin.
That's the one that everybody wants unbanned, right?
Correct.
Okay. Summer Bloom.
Tybalt's Trickery.
Treasure Cruise.
Tree of Tales.
Umizawa's Jite.
Jeet.
I was so confident going into it, too. I was like, I know exactly how to say this.
It is Jite. It's very funny to just call it a Jeet, though.
Oh, okay, so I was right?
Yeah, you were very correct on it. It's very funny to call it a Jeet. Up the Beanstalk.
A very recent addition.
Rest in peace, beans.
Euro, Titan of Nature's Wrath.
Vault of Whispers.
Yorion Sky Nomad. In keeping in style with what we've been doing lately, the rules of how you play the game, as far as the actual playing of it, are still the same. So you're going to have a 60-card deck, a 15-card sideboard, no more than 4 cards of the same name, excluding basic lands. As we've been doing, this is a 1v1 format, so we're going to keep up that tradition. It is typically played in a best-of-3 scenario, and is what you probably have seen or heard of a lot for like RCQs or other tournaments. I know that Modern was like the first format that I had ever heard of outside of Commander when I started playing, just because that's just what people I knew played. So we should probably tell the people about the decks that we've made for our Modern Melee. So what deck will you be playing?
I will be playing Yawgmoth Thran Physician combo.
That's what you named it?
No, I named it That's Real Yawgin.
Like Pog?
Yeah. You know, what's that song? It's like, no, that's real. That's real thuggin', right? No, that's real thuggin'.
Are you thinking of, hey, must be the money?
I don't know.
You were! I saw it on your face!
But I don't know.
It's like in the background. Da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na, da-na-na, 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 da-na, da-da, da-da-da. Dun, dun. Hey, must be the money. It is! It is! Do you want to change the name of your deck?
Nope. No, that's real Yawgin. So with the Yawgmoth Thran Physician deck, You are trying to play cards like Young Wolf and Strangleroot Geist. These kind of like low to the ground creatures, like Young Wolf's just a 1-mana 1/1, right? But it has Undying. Means when it dies, it comes back to the battlefield with +1/+1 count. And Yawgmoth has an ability to sacrifice a creature, put a -1/-1 counter on a creature. So you take 2 of your Undying creatures, you sacrifice one, put a -1 counter on this one that has a +1/+1 counter. And then this one comes back as the 2/2, and now this one's a 1/1. Now you sacrifice this one and put the -1/-1 counter on this one. And you go back and forth. But with this engine, you have like a Blood Artist effect or Zulaport Cutthroat, where you're mitigating the life lost because you have to pay a life to sacrifice the creature, right? Well, now you're not losing or gaining. You're staying at the same life, technically, right?
But you're draining your opponent.
And what are you playing, my love?
I am playing a deck that I built myself, affectionately called Infect Me With Your Love and Fill Me With Your Poison, because Pez really likes Katy Perry, and it's an infect deck. My goal is to make a infect creature and make it really big and hit you once for 10 infect because you die, even if you have full life, even if you have a mazillion life. 10 infect, rip bozo. But yeah, that's what I'm playing. Most people would say that infect in modern is bad. It's not in the meta. It probably is bad. I don't understand the meta enough in any format to try and like follow it. I just kind of like vibe and do what I want to do. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to support us, you can do so at patreon.com/thegrimtutors, and you can follow us on social media at GrimTutorsMTG.
Please be sure to like, leave a comment, and subscribe. It helps us out more than you know.
Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.